Whenever.
Okay. So welcome to Italy. It's your first time here, I guess, and as a band.
No, we played in Milan
No,
before.
we played Milan before.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, we played at a club night once.
Ah, okay. And so, how do you feel to be here again today?
It's good.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's been good. We went down to the lake.
Oh, yeah.
Our guitar tech had a swim.
Ah.
Yeah, he swam in the lake, and then what have we done? Drank a coffee, drank another coffee, drank another coffee.
A couple of beers.
Couple of beers, sound check. Yeah, it's been good. Good day.
Okay.
It's good to be in Italy though, we haven't been here enough. So.
Oh, wow,
Yes.
okay. So, as teenager, we all have icons. Which were your icons when you were younger?
As in music icons?
Yeah.
Or?
General icons. Mine was Jimmy Page, Keith Moon, Kurt Cobain. That was it.
Okay.
Mine was John Bonham.
Oh, wow.
John Bonham and John Bonham.
Yeah, you just jump on them for the dump.
Yeah.
Okay. You recently released your last album, which is here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And when you decided it was ready to be released?
Yeah. When?
When, yeah.
I think it's signed, sealed, delivered. Towards the end of last year.
I don't think you just have to choose a date and then it's like it's finished then. Because
Okay.
otherwise you just record forever. You never feel like it's finished.
Okay.
I still don't actually. There's a few tweaks I'd make now. I feel like the low end's a little bit flat on 3 of the tracks. But anyway, yeah, I think I can't. What was the date though?
It would
was
have been.
pre-
I tell
it
you
was
what.
right
I
up
can
to
tell
the
you.
release,
I
it
can
was
tell
right.
you the last day we recorded as a band, and the last song we did was Someday, and we did that on October the 18th or maybe 19th,
Okay.
2014.
Okay.
Yeah,
In
and
Wales.
was mixing,
Yeah, and then we started mixing.
which went on for a few weeks, didn't it? So yeah, October, November.
Okay. And how is it different from your previous work, this new album?
I think it's like what most bands do when they do a second album. It's just like you try a little bit harder to be more specific with your intentions, and everything sonically is a little bit tighter, and you use strings and trumpets, and claim that your lyrics are better.
Okay.
But realistically, it's probably not that different. It's probably just a bit more funky. That's it. Someone said to me yesterday it was a bit more sexy, a bit more funky, and I was like, well, there you
Take
go.
that. Yeah, it's
You know,
fine.
there's a long list of things that you could mention about creating it that we did differently, but I don't think any of it actually shows. I think it's just a little bit more funky, isn't it, really?
And you use always the same process to write your music?
Not particularly. We used to kind of just throw it all together in a bit of a mess.
In the garage.
In the garage, yeah. And then this time it was kind of wrote the lyrics first.
On the road.
On the road.
Okay.
And then when we get into the studio, put the songs together and argue. Well, not really argue, but
Not like each other for a little bit, and then
15 minutes of not liking each other.
And then you really like each
5
other.
minutes of hard work,
Yeah.
and then a lifetime of pure love. That's kind of the song process.
Okay. So talking about your tour, now you're touring around Europe. How is your tour life?
It's all right.
We like touring. We're good. We think we're pretty good at touring.
Yeah, we're pretty good.
We don't bitch or moan particularly. We just kind of get on with it. And ultimately, the reason why we started playing to begin with is because we love playing. So
Yeah.
if we can do that, then we love it. So
Okay.
Touring's one of those things that it's so easy to complain about, but you just have to think, I'm touring in a band, so shut up. Do you know what I mean? It's so easy to be like, oh, I'm so tired because I didn't go to bed till 5 AM, or I'm so angry because I haven't had a coffee or a cigarette.
I can't be asked for the 13-hour flight to Australia.
And it's like, all you have to do is look in the mirror and go, shut up, mate, shut up. Or sometimes someone has to tell you.
Yeah.
But when it's a bit Groundhog Day sometimes, so you can expect that. So if you're doing the same routine every day, no matter what it is, you're always going to start to, everything becomes muscle memory.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing every day, and then all you're really thinking about is the little things which change, which is usually like, oh well, you know, I've got no socks to wear.
The avocado isn't ripe on the right.
Yeah, you know, and then you're like, well, what? You know, this is the most furious I've been for years.
Bullshit.
But yeah, it's good.
Okay. And we saw you at Leeds Festival this summer.
Oh,
Yes.
And how do you approach in playing festival, big music festival in main stage, and in a different club like this, really small?
I don't think we approach it too differently.
I feel like on a bigger stage I have a few more drinks.
I'm the other way around.
Really?
Yeah.
On the big stage I have to have a few drinks, because it's just like, otherwise you just go out and kind of like, you know, if you're a bit pissed, you have a bigger personality, and you've got to feel the, musically it's the same thing, it's the same band, it's the same shebang, just a little bit louder, but you've got to sort of live up to it. That's why, like, when we play the big stages, I walk out and I'm like whereas in a club it's kind of like, I don't know, it's
But
the same thing,
as a
isn't it?
band collectively, we just try and, you know, give it 100% every night, no matter where we're playing. So it's kind of,
you adapt to your situation, don't you?
yeah, almost subconsciously, I think. So
Professionals.
So which one do you prefer?
I don't think I prefer either. More, they're just.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's kind of you always kind of look. It's like the grass is always greener thing. The same with studio and tour versus tour. When you do one thing for a while, you want to do the other thing. So you do a club tour like we're doing now. Towards the end of it, we'll probably be looking forward to playing bigger shows again, and then you do that for a while, and you'll be like, oh, I really wish we could do a sweaty club show again. So it's just kind of, the balance is always going up and down. But I don't think we really prefer one over the other particularly.
Okay.
I like both.
Oh, so last question, and then it's her turn.
She's on.
Yeah. Tonight you're playing here. What do we have to expect from your show tonight?
It's a roller coaster, I think. It's kind of like ups and downs. Really loud drumming.
And more new stuff or old?
I'd say about 50-50.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of new stuff, but we're not throwing it in your face, you know. I think like, it's just the hits, isn't it? It's just the like the main songs that we're focusing on. Because if you try and play the whole new album, it's like you're not giving it your best. I find it's good to focus on a few tracks. Then once they're like muscle memory, you do the other ones. Then if we do a bigger tour at the end of the year or next year or whatever, go back and sort of play.
Okay.
I think we learned that from the last album, didn't we? When we went out and saw after we released the first album, we were like, we've got to play all of the songs or as many as we possibly can. But actually, as Harry just said, then it's better to just play them really well and maybe do less than quantity over quality.
So much time
quality over quantity.
You know, we can tour again and we can play more.
Okay. Cool.
So, your name was not Peace at the first time, was something like Autumn and the Criminal, am I right?
Autumn, that's the translation.
Yeah.
What changed? Why did you choose to change that?
That was just like a different band in... I think of it as when we were in education. November and the Criminal was sort of the product of like lots of different bands that we'd all been in when you're going through high school and college.
After school club.
And then that was kind of the best band that we sort of formed, which was me, Don, Doug and Sam. But I mean, you were only ever playing to like our mates, you know, in the pub or whatever.
Once a month.
When you're sort of 17 years old and don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And then Peace came along kind of after going into the real world and being like, you know, Peace was like a real band because we were a bit older and a bit wiser, and well, not wiser. It's still immature. If anything, a little bit less wise. And you know, Peace was when people, you know, we started Peace and people started coming and watching us. we were actually spreading a message rather than just kind of... November the Criminal was mainly instrumental. It was mainly just guitars and bass and drums, and then we kind of brought vocals in towards the end. But yeah, November the Criminal was like the final step before we went and became Peace, you know.
It was the test up to see if we enjoyed doing it, I guess.
Yeah, but you know, it was a real natural process.
But yeah, November the Criminal, then a line was drawn and Peace kind of started. And
just a fresh start.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, November the Criminal, we were fucking so shit for so long. And then, like, you know, as we started to get good, we were like, we might be able to actually start a band here, lads. Like a real band. And we did. And here we are. So fair play.
Okay.
So, and what do you think changed? What's the biggest change you have done in your story as a band, in your writing songs or albums? And
biggest change,
I think in writing, it was writing the lyrics first rather than last, which I think is better for the song. I think that's...
It works well, didn't it? For the
yeah, but I just think you get more of the song. You get a meaning, and you get a beginning and a middle and an end, and it's, you know, it's a piece of writing then. Whereas if you're just kind of filling in lyrics as kind of a gap, it's a bit lazy.
So yeah, it's kind of like, yeah.
But there was definitely a point where we kind of... Probably around the time of playing Reading for the first time, Reading and Leeds the first year, that was when I thought, I was like, we're not like fucking about here, there's people who are really like, really into us. And it's like, now we've got like a responsibility to not like, just be a throwaway band or be a shit band. And at that point I was like, I want to calm down a bit. Personally, and just not like, be like a fuckhead, and just like write songs and then make a second album that people can really believe in. Because at first I was just like, fucking doesn't matter, whatever, like anything, I don't give a shit, we'll do whatever we want. And then there was kind of a point around that summer when I was like, well, we've got a lot of fans. I was like, we need to like be a fucking sick band and not turn into dickheads and not make a shit second album and not treat your fans like shit, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was probably the biggest change, was being like, yeah, I'm going to do this now.
But actually it wasn't, it was a change, but only in the sense that we decided not to change. You know?
Yeah, it was kind of in my head, you know, it was a mental change, it was a thing for me. I was like, I didn't take it seriously before then.
Yeah.
it was something kind of like finding yourself, what you really are.
Yeah, I guess so. It's the first time I've had a job. I was like, I've got a career now.
And when you chose to be a musician as a job and not just as a hobby, when you decided that that was your way, there was a particular moment in which you realized that, or it was a process? How? I
think that was it. Playing Reading for the first time.
Okay.
That was the point for me, because up until then I didn't really know what was going on. And then it was like seeing, like, you know, so many people there, and a lot of them, like, you know, singing along and stuff. I was like,
this is
fuck,
actually
this is actually like a thing. Because before that we never played a big show. Probably the maximum we played to was, you know, of our own show,
300 or 400 people.
Yeah, 300 or 400 people, and then there was, what's that, like 10,000 that tent?
Yeah.
And it was just like, fuck, and everyone was singing along and stuff, and I was like, whoa, this is like an actual purpose that I've got now.
Okay.
I did take a load of codeine before the show. That's maybe why I had the epiphany. It was kind of like, but yeah, it was a moment. I was kind of like, got to soak this in and make the most of it.
And were you afraid when you saw all those people that were there for you, or were you?
Very relaxed. Basically, I was really ill.
Okay.
I was really ill, and my friend gave me some medication for the illness, which was a lot stronger than I thought it was. So when I went on at Reading, I was just kind of like, what's going on? But yeah, the medication I'd taken was a lot stronger than I thought it had expected it to be. And even like in between songs, I'm saying like random words and stuff. I was just like, whoa. But I was really calm, which was really good because I was really nervous before. So very calm and very sort of like just willing to sort of look out and go like, I'm going to take this in and sort of deal with it responsibly. But yeah, it was a real moment.
Okay.
Voice was just there doing the drums, just smashing it as usual.
Same shit, different day.
Same shit.
Okay, we're done.
Okay.